I mean, is Cooper Rush worth 2.5 points? I would hope Quinn Ewers put up a decent stat line against Arizona State. If he didn't, we have a real problem.
You can say the same thing about Creighton. Okay, they have the one good game against Kansas at home.
When Toast talks about the kicking market, it's like some earth is flat shit. Andy, true or false, this is going to be a dog walking.
Dog walking. This is my dog walking of the day. I think it's going to be very ugly. Dog walking. I think this is going to be ugly.
Hey, get the sauce. Yo, what's up, everybody? Happy Tuesday to you all. Hope you all had a nice Monday. I did not. I placed 3 bets. They all lost. My picks on the show did well, too. But the ones I actually bet didn't. Well, actually, I'm technically 0-2.
Oh, I did think about it. I did make my card.
Never mind. Make it 0. Make it 0. Make it 0-3. The Giants just lost, as I said that. So all of that money I won on Sunday pretty much gave that exact amount back. Yeah, I knew it from the beginning, too. I was talking about it last night. I was like, guys, I have some terrible bets. And, yeah, they came to fruition. So we got 15 games on Tuesday. Kind of a weird day. There's a lot of rain on the forecast. I'm sure we'll see a game or two postponed. But let's get into it. Yankees on the road in Toronto. This is one I kind of like this over. Didn't bet it. It would have hit. And I think I kind of like the over again. I know it's Max Fried versus Gausman. I get it. Gausman hasn't been all that reliable, though, number one. And Toronto's been consistently hitting for, we're talking about 2 months now, where Toronto's been consistently a top 10 lineup. So if you can count on Toronto to get 2 off Max Fried, which is possible, by the way. Max Fried has given up some runs recently. He's been great, but in his last 4 starts, he's given up 2 or more runs in 3 of them. So on the road in Toronto against this lineup, I wouldn't be surprised if Toronto gets 2 or 3 off Fried. I think the Yankees get the Gausman. I'm not betting this, so I'm not going to waste any more time talking about it. But if you're looking for some icing on the cake here, Toronto's bullpen a bit compromised. There's no Hoffman. There's no Brandon Little. Probably no Fisher either. So actually, I could just bring it up on the screen so you guys could see it. So Toronto's bullpen is in a situation here. No Hoffman, no Little, and probably no Fisher. Which means if Toronto has the lead late, which against Max Fried they probably won't, but if they do, you're going to see Sandlin, Yariel Rodriguez, and Chad Green are going to be the 3 arms to bring them home. So even if Gausman throws a gem, I can see the Yankees scoring some runs late. So it would be over a pass, but I'm not betting this one. Toast?
I think about actually laying it with the Yankees. I know that the juice is a lot with 164. I'm looking at it FanDuel, but I do think that Max Fried can pitch well, and like you talked about the bullpen advantage, we can start with the Yankees and Max Fried. Again, he's going to continue to give. I mean, he's been fantastic. The worst outing he's had so far this year or at least for a while, is that Dodgers start on the road where he got tattooed. But besides that, he's essentially given you 6 or 7 innings of just call it 2-run baseball. And if he can give me that, I think that puts us at a huge advantage because the Yankees didn't use any of their major arms tonight. On top of the fact that you have Gausman coming off an absolute gem of 8 innings of work, which was fantastic, but he threw 104 pitches. The last time he threw 104 pitches, he got absolutely clobbered by the Phillies, and he only went 5 innings in that game. And if that's the case, like Kyle just talked about, that Toronto bullpen that's compromised, I think there's a lot of issues there for Toronto, on top of the fact that the last 3 times that Gausman has faced this Yankees team, he's got absolutely slaughtered, and 4 of the last 5 times he's seen him, he's gotten absolutely slaughtered. I just don't see an avenue to which Toronto wins this game unless, the Yankees just absolutely don't show up offensively at all. So I almost wanted to pull the trigger on the Yankees today. I didn't like their bullpen situation. I ended up passing. Obviously, their bullpen kind of ended up giving it up. I don't think that happens again tomorrow. I think I'm going to lay the juice with the Yanks.
I put the Yankees up, too, because that's the side I would be on. Hopefully you can get better than minus 165, though. Looks like the best you can get, is about minus 165, it looks like. So, it's expensive. TV Jones?
Yeah, Yankees -1. I mean, Fried's been fine. I know Toronto's really good versus lefties and whatnot, but Toast already went over it. Gausman versus Yankees lineup, never really – -136 for that. Never had success, especially lately. And then I know it's Canada Day, so people are going to be like, oh, they're going to show up. They don't have a great record.
Wait, what's
in
that?
Canada Day. It's like their July 4th, I think. I don't know.
Oh, so it's like a national holiday.
Yeah, that's why there's a random day game on a Tuesday. it's like a national holiday for them, but they don't have like a
Uniform belt,
great.
Trevor. Could they get
What's
a
up?
uniform belt? Could they get a uniform belt?
This is a great question.
You didn't think of that.
They're probably going to wear the red ones. So yeah, maybe, potentially, but it's more Gosman I don't trust, especially at home. He's not been really sharp, and now the Yankees, they did score some runs today. Blue Jays managed to come back, so awesome. But I think with Gosman versus Fried here, I don't really have as much success or belief in Toronto here. So I just play the Yankees -1. I don't want to pay all that juice for the money line, but I will. I'll play the -1 with Fried, and then not to mention the Blue Jays bullpen got used up tonight to secure that win.
All right, let's move on to the next one. And the next one is Padres Phillies. This is another one. I had the under. It would have hit. Didn't bet it. I kind of want to take the Padres, if I'm being honest. Now, the Phillies managed to grab the win today without using any of their bullpen, which is huge. Tanner Banks is the only arm they used tonight. So all their main arms are available. So that's huge for the Phillies to win in that fashion. Pretty sure Bryce Harper's coming back tomorrow, right, Toast?
Yeah.
He's back tonight.
He's back tonight.
Oh, did he? I didn't bet the game. Yeah. I didn't watch any of it. So, all right, Bryce Harper's back then. I knew he was coming back in this series at some point. So Bryce Harper's back. Now, they were talking about it in the voice chat. Obviously, it's at Citizens Bank Park. Wind blowing out. It's beautiful run-scoring weather. Plus 49% home run index, and Pivetta is a fly ball pitcher. I get that. I still think Pivetta can pitch well here. And the Padres, they have terrible numbers against lefties, but if you look at the lefty starters they've seen, it's really not.
Great.
Yeah, they've seen some good lefties. And look, okay, Lodolo, Abbott, McKenzie, Gore. And look over here. They're getting guys on base. 9 base runners and 5 1/3. That's good. I mean, they only got 1 run across in that game. But 9 base runners and 5 1/3, that's like a 170 whip. 9 base runners and 5 against Abbott. McKenzie Gore, 8 base runners. So, I mean, they're getting guys on base. I really want to take the Padres. I want to do it. I can't. So it'll be Padres team total over or just the over is the way I would go here. Toast?
I think I'm going to split my money in half and go half on Padres team total over 3.5 plus 100, half on Padres, half unit on Padres money line plus 145. So you talked about it. The lefty starters that they faced, not only have they been good, but they've been getting kind of lucky against the Padres. And you can say that the Padres can't hit with runners in scoring position or when it matters. So that is true. I'm not going to bat for this offense. But if you look at the xFIP and all those numbers against lefties, it's up there. They're getting runners on base, and I think that's huge because I don't really. Christopher Sanchez has been very, very good, but he's also faced some mediocre lineups over the last couple months. And not that the Padres lineup is so crazy good, but again, the fact that it gives me a little bit of confidence, that fact that they've seen a lot of good lefties so far. And then as far as Pivetta is concerned, I mean, it's sure, maybe he's a fly ball pitcher, the wind's blowing out, it's hot, that's great. But, I mean, it's not like the Phillies are absolutely killing the righty starters that they're facing right now. Like, yeah, Bryce Harper coming back matters, but I think if that's the only guy that we're worried about, I mean, I'm not saying that we are. I'm just saying if that's the only guy that you're worried about and to have the Phillies score runs, I think there's a lot of possibilities for the Padres to win this game. I mean, there's a definite bullpen advantage for the Padres. We can make all the jokes we want about the Padres bullpen, but the Padres bullpen is better than the Phillies bullpen. So I think the lineups are kind of a wash personally. So it's just a matter of how much you put into that starting pitching advantage. So I give it to the Phillies a little bit, but not at this price. So it would only be the Padres for me, like I said.
And the Padres rested all of their bullpen arms, so they'll have the entire bullpen at their disposal, but so will the Phillies. And what you mentioned about the Phillies lineup, yeah, Bryce Harper coming back, but let's not act like this Phillies lineup was crushing the ball. We've seen them really struggle against right-handed pitching with Bryce Harper in there as well. What do you think, TV Jones?
Yeah, it has to be under 8.5. Yeah, the wind may be blowing out a little bit, 10 miles an hour, but 8 miles an hour, but it's gonna be raining throughout the entire game, so that's gonna kill some shit. Chris Sanchez, a lefty. What do we know about the Padres? They are 27th in baseball versus lefties the last 3 weeks. A beautiful 78 WRC plus. Not looking too hot. And then, the Phillies, Matt Waldron was out there tonight, and they got 4 off of him, I think, and that they came in like 1 or 2 innings, and then they did nothing the rest of the game. So I think you get the lefty, you get Pivetta, who's been better than Waldron, obviously, and then given the weather that's coming into play here, I'm just going to play the under 8.5 in this one. Maybe it even gets rained out in the 7th, and then they just call the game. So that is a possibility, but under 7.5 or 8.5 for me in this one.
Picks from the voice chat in the first game. TJ is on Yankees first 5 run line again. He just hit that yesterday. That hit too. Adams on Vlad props. Jacobs on Yankees -0.5. That's probably first 5. Spoon is on the under in this first one. And in the Padres Phillies, Spoon's on Phillies -1. OT's on Phillies -1. Boba's on Phillies first 7 -0.5. TJ's on under if the over doesn't move. Adams on San Diego first 5 team total over. Asted's on Harper. I'm assuming that's home run or something. And yeah, under. Next up.
The hottest team in baseball.
Let's go. Did you bet them today?
No, I fucking kicked myself for not doing it.
I bet them today. As soon as I saw them at 110.
Oh, the Pirates?
Yeah.
You taking them today, TV Jones? In this one?
Probably, yeah. I mean, Skeens just had a bad outing, his last one against the Brewers, to be expected. Going against Mizorowski, all the pressure in the world was on his shoulders. Couldn't come through. But now you're back home. The Cardinals have seen him a bit, so that does worry a little bit.
Has never beat the Cardinals in his career.
Yes, he did. For the first one.
I thought it was a no decision.
Oh, he has never recorded a win, you're saying.
Sorry, yes, I apologize. In the first game ever, the Pirates scored 2 in the 9th to win the game. Yes.
Okay.
And I think they'll have success again. I'm just going to take Pirates -1, which is just had that up. Click here, scroll down, and they don't have it up anymore. Oh, here it is. Yes, Pirates -1, -117. Skeens bounce back at home. I know the Cardinals have seen him, but Pirates offense best in baseball right now. The last 4 or 5 days.
Best in baseball.
They're putting up 8 runs a game at least. I mean, shit, they put up 40 runs the last 4 games or something. They've been really hot, so I think tomorrow's a perfect spot for them for Skeens to bounce back in this offense to get to Palante and score some runs. So Pittsburgh -1, -117. I'm going to back Skeens and a bounce back here at home.
Toast.
It's kind of like the Yankees. I think I might just lay the juice with the Pirates. I know it's disgusting, but I mean, we have Paul Skeens off of an embarrassing outing and against a team that he hasn't been terrible against them. It's essentially 6 innings of 2-run baseball besides one of the starts where he gave up 5. But besides that, I mean, it's not like he's pitched bad against them. He just hasn't gone deep into games. And as we've seen this year, they have let him go deeper into games. So I don't have a reason to believe that he's not going to go deep into this game tomorrow. I think that he pitches well and he has a rested bullpen behind him. And I agree with – I don't know if they're the hottest offense in baseball, but this team is red hot right now. I mean, they scored 9, 9, and 12 against the Mets, or they score 6 or 7 today again. So I know that Palante has had some success against them, and he hasn't been terrible at all this year. But over his last 7 starts, only 2 of them have been on the road, and each of them haven't been great. He's given up 4 runs in both of them. So until I see Palante pitch better on the road, it's going to be hard for me to back them, even at a big plus price. So it's only the Pirates for me. I'm pretty close to pulling the trigger, but I don't know if I can actually do it.
Cards up. I'm on St. Louis. They always beat Skeens. This will be the 6th time they've seen Paul Skeens. Of his 40 starts, 6 of them have been against the Cardinals. There is no team that knows Paul Skeens better than the Cardinals. They've beaten him 4 straight times as well. So not only have they seen Skeens a bunch of times, they always beat him. Plus 140, I got it at. Think you guys are crazy for jumping on the Pirates. They scored all the runs in 1 inning tonight. If it wasn't for the 1 inning, they had 1 run. That was against Fedde, and they didn't score till like the 6th inning or something, and they scored all the runs in 1 inning. This was the worst lineup in baseball 72 hours ago. Literally, the worst lineup in baseball. I just think it's way too crazy to overreact to just a few games. I think Palante will be fine because this lineup sucks, honestly. So, yeah, do I expect the Cardinals to rock Skeens? No, but let's not get it twisted. This is a top 10 lineup in the last 30 days, a top 5 lineup against righties in the last 2 weeks. I mean, what are we doing? Plus 140, yeah, definitely Cardinals.
Hey, that offense showed up for Mitch Keller. That poor son of a bitch never gets run support from them, and they showed up and gave him 12. So, I mean, they're cooking right now. I mean, they've got 8+ in every the last 4 or 5 games.
Yeah.
Why can't they do it against Palante tomorrow?
They scored 8 on Texas, 8 on Detroit, 4 or 5 on Milwaukee. They've been putting up some runs.
4 days ago, if this line was posted, you guys would be like, oh my God, Cardinals easy.
Mm-hmm. I think it's telling you. It's telling you Pittsburgh kills them.
It's telling you the market's overreacting to 3 days.
No.
Next up, Twins, Marlins. Toast?
I kind of want to bet the Twins here.
Hell yeah, Twins up.
Yeah, okay, yeah. So I know that everybody's going to want to jump on the Marlins, and they've been I know that they've paying a couple people out on our Discord. I've bet them a few times. I didn't bet them in Arizona their last game in their getaway day, but I had bet them over in a couple games. But regardless, they have been playing well. They had one of the best West Coast road trips you could possibly have. I mean, against San Francisco and Arizona, so winning all those games. But now they have to fly home. I think that kind of changes everything. And they're also going to be seeing a Minnesota team that I know hasn't really played well, but I mean, they started to win some games in that Seattle series. They had that Detroit game. They had a meltdown on Saturday versus Detroit, and then they got Scooble. But I don't really think that – I think that we're getting a really cheap price with Joe Ryan, who's probably been one of the better pitchers in Major League Baseball so far this year. I mean, his worst start in his last 7 is on the road in that ballpark in Sacramento, and he gave up 4 runs. But besides that, I mean, he's been absolutely fantastic against Milwaukee, Tampa Bay, and Houston. So, and then as far as Cabrera is concerned – I just don't really think the competition that he's seen at home has been really great. I mean, decent starts against the Phillies in San Francisco, but the Cubs got to him for 3. I'm just not really in love with what I'm seeing from Cabrera, but more than less, I hate the spot for Miami, and I think this is a really cheap price on a Twins team that I think is night and day better than Miami. So I have Minnesota circled at like 136 or something like that. But yeah, Minnesota up for me.
Yeah, I bet it.
Also, the bullpen advantage. Sorry, go ahead.
That too. But yeah, I already bet. I'm on the Twins as well. Actually, TJ, I was on the Twins regardless. And obviously the Marlins are red hot. I cast on them a couple times. I just hit on them at plus 160 the other day. So I'm not anti-Marlins streak. It was awesome. We had a lot of fun. But this is when that shit ends. They had a day off and a change of city. They flew across the country. That's when these streaks die, is when you have that day off and a complete change of location. And TJ just put it in the chat. 7 straight wins changing cities is the ultimate fade the streak spot. He shared the numbers in the voice chat. So, yeah, in my opinion, that Marlins hot streak is just getting us such a better number with Joe Ryan, who's been excellent, like Toe said, against good lineups. I mean, Joe Ryan's pitching great against good lineups. And just like Toe said, when it comes to Everett Cabrera, I mean, not that he hasn't been good. And by the way, if you've watched the show, you know that I've spoken positively about Everett Cabrera. I've always liked him for years now. But, I mean, the Giants can't hit shit. The Phillies with no Harper weren't hitting. The Nats, I mean, he only made it 3 innings in that one. I don't know if there was weather-related, but 4 base runners and 2 runs in just 3 innings. On the road to Tampa, there's a good lineup. He sucked. 8 base runners in 4 innings. Then the Giants again, the Angels. Just not a lot of good lineups here. The Twins are a good lineup. I know we don't regard the Twins to be a good team, but this team does hit. In the last 30 days, this is a top 10 line. They're like probably the most people. Yeah. They find ways to lose games. So when we think of the Twins, we think of shit. Yeah. But they do hit the ball. They are a top 10 lineup in the last 30 days against righties, a top 10 lineup overall. So I think the Twins can get to Cabrera. I'm sure I'll put a few free guys on base. He's had 2 or more walks in 6 straight starts. So I'm sure he'll give the Twins a few free base runners here. Yeah, definitely on the Twins. TV Jones.
Yeah, over 7.5. Minnesota's putting up runs against righties, and then Miami is too. I mean, lately 2-3-7-2-3-5-0-4-1-2-3-2-2-7. They're putting up runs at home in this park. We know it's an over park. Minnesota's been putting up runs on righties too, like 2-3-2, 1-5, 2-3-7. Like they're putting up runs too. Cabrera, walk issue, Joe Ryan, I think he's good, but he can still get hit up. And this Miami team's been hitting. Twins have been hitting, scoring too. It'd be over 7.5 for me. I think both pitchers kind of give up a little bit, and then you got the bullpens coming in, especially with Miami that can give it up too. So it'd be over 7.5 or nothing for me in this game.
I'd be down with the Twins team total over. I kind of think Joe Ryan's going to deal. I mean, his numbers against righty bats are excellent. This dude knows how to get righties out, and there's a lot of righty bats in the Marlins lineup here. They're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4 lefties. So they have 2 lefties at the top, then a couple of main pieces there, Otto Lopez, Ramirez. So they have a couple dangerous lefties, but 5 righties in the lineup. All right, let's move on. Twins up. Probably my favorite bet so far. This next one, Tigers on the road in Washington.
Man,
where are the outs coming from in this one, Toast?
That's what I'm saying. Like, do we just play the over 9.5 plus 100 and just not bet it big and just hope that it doesn't get rained out? Because I mean, we can go through it, but this is just an absolute joke. There should be 50 runs in this game. Obviously, I'm exaggerating, but yeah. I mean, what are we doing here? I mean, to keep it very simple, and if Kyle, you want to pull it up so they can all see it, but if both of these teams have a whole bunch of lefties and both of these pitchers are absolutely terrible versus left-handed bats. I mean, let's just keep it simple. Trevor Williams, I don't think anybody that if you're watching this show needs me to tell you that he is pretty damn bad at throwing baseball. He has looked somewhat decent over his last couple starts. San Diego got to him, obviously, but Colorado, Miami, Texas, you can't throw a parade on the road in Seattle. You can't throw a parade about pitching well against those teams or in Seattle. So, and this Tigers team, regardless of what you want to think about them, I know that there's a lot of people that think that Kyle hates this team, and maybe he does. But I will say, regardless, this team, not only on the road or versus right-handed pitching, has been a top 5, top 10 lineup overall this year. And then as far as the Nats are concerned, that's the only thing that's kind of throwing me off is that, like we talked about with Miami, they just had a fantastic road trip, and now they got to travel back across the country home. But again, you have Jack Flaherty, who hasn't been good at all. I mean, his best home, he has had a decent home start against the Cubs. He pitched well against the White Sox in San Francisco, and besides that, it's been all pretty damn bad, and he really struggles with lefty bats. So not to mention the weather, if it doesn't rain, is going to be fantastic. I don't see how there's not a whole bunch of runs in this game. I'm done.
Yeah, the weather just makes it too weird to bet if they try if they try playing through the rain. But to pull up what Toast is talking about here, Flaherty, 454 xFIP against lefties, 346 WOBA. The Nats are going to have 7 or 8 lefties in the lineup. It's just a lineup full of lefties. And then on the other side, it's even worse than that. This one's crazy. So Trevor Williams, I mean, good Lord, this dude cannot get lefties out. And the Tigers are going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lefties, including 3 of their first 4 hitters. Kerry Carpenter and Riley Green both hit on the left side of the plate. So, yeah, if it wasn't for the rain, I probably would be on this over, but the rain just makes it weird. TV Jones?
Retweet with everything you said. If it wasn't for the rain, I would have already bet the over. So I'm sitting out in this one, but it would be over or nothing in this one, given Flaherty, Williams, and the lineups with the amount of lefties that are in both sides. I can just absolutely crush these guys. So over or nothing, but given the rain and everything, I want nothing to do with this game.
Same.
And just if anybody's confused, if you're listening, it's supposed to be like 85 degrees, but for whatever that East Coast weather is, there's rain and stuff happening. So if they actually do play the game, the weather should be fine to score runs. So sorry if that was confusing.
No, that's the same thing right here. It was hot as hell out here today, and there's serious thunderstorms happening right now. A's Rays, man, Tampa, what the hell? How do you lose that game? This is just, it kind of throws a wrench into things because Shane Baz has been pretty good, but maybe you guys can understand what I'm saying, and maybe you don't. But I feel like the A's come out and hit Rasmussen. Now, I don't think that's like, oh, the A's bats are good now. They've been bad. But I wouldn't be surprised if the A's are able to hit throughout this series. They came into this ballpark seeing the ball well. They play in a AAA ballpark themselves. I wouldn't be surprised if the A's are going to score runs in this series. We've seen the A's lineup get hot several times throughout the season. So it's not like we haven't seen this A's lineup hit. They got Rasmussen. I mean, it just kind of throws a wrench into things. It's like we just saw Tommy DeVito go into Baltimore and throw for 360 and 4 touchdowns on the Ravens. It's like, well, like, what do we do now? So I think it would just be over here. Can you still?
The 8.5 -120.
There was a flat 8 before.
What?
Oh, no, there wasn't. No, there wasn't a flat 8. I'm sorry.
Okay, I was like, there's what I missed.
I'm thinking about the other over I bet. We're getting to that. There's an over I actually bet. We'll get to that in a second. But yeah, it would only be over here because I think the A's are going to hit in this series in this ballpark. And then it's Tampa against Jeffrey Springs. Oh shit, revenge game. Right?
Yeah.
So hold on. Is there any animosity with the Rays and the way they manage their pitchers? They all get Tommy John. Like, do you think Jeffrey Springs hates the Rays? They all have Tommy John there in Tampa.
Yeah. I can see that. I mean, he didn't really pitch for him very much the last 2 seasons he was there. But, I mean, yeah, it would be a revenge game. Yeah, technically.
Toast, any thoughts here?
Over 8.5. Not going to overthink this one. Played the over 8 tonight. Couldn't believe that we were getting a flat 8 in this ballpark. And not going to be afraid of it again tomorrow. We're going to still have decent weather tomorrow. It's going to be another like 85 degrees with 10-mile-an-hour winds blowing out. Baz has been pretty decent for the last month or so. You want to know why? Because he hasn't been pitching at home. On the road at Kansas City, New York, Boston, and Houston. Home starts at Texas and Detroit. He gives up 5 in 5 innings against Detroit. He gives up 3 in 5 innings against Texas. That was again the beginning of the month. He pitched somewhat decent against Toronto, but I do think that this A's offense is kind of starting to hit the ball a little bit better, and we saw it again tonight. I know that it was kind of early, and then they didn't do any much late, but again, with this weather and this ballpark, I think Kyle hit the nail on the head with that one. I think we have both these teams comfortable playing in these smaller ballparks. I think runs are going to come, not to mention the fact that I forgot to pull it up in front of me, but I mean, the Rays used some arms tonight. Both these teams used some arms tonight. Nothing crazy, but there is going to be some familiarity there. And then also the Rays versus lefties. I mean, they've actually been putting up some numbers. Not that Jeffrey Springs isn't good, but 2 off of Bubich, 3 off of Rogers, 3 off of Webbers, 4 off of Colton Gordon. Framber pitched an absolute gem against them, but 3 off of Lauer. So they've been getting to lefty starters as well. I just don't see why this number isn't at 9. I think it's going to be at 9 in the morning. But yeah, over 8.5.
The more I look at it, the more I kind of like the A's.
I know. It's just really hard to trust this team, dude.
What about TV Jones?
Yeah, A's money line.
What?
The thing you can kill Jeff.
Mr. Tampa Bay Rays waving the flag.
I said it last night. I was like, if they lose again, the Rays train's over. And
there's been that out of the balloon.
They're starting to slump. They're falling back to earth a little bit. And the way you can really kill Springs on the road is with lefties. 310 average, a 429 slug, 373 WOBA, but righties on the road, 205 average, 371 slug, 280 WOBA. Nah, again, these projected, anything can change, but there's going to be one lefty, and then Mangum is going to be a switchy, so he could go lefty. It's going to be two lefty bats, otherwise it's going to be all righties. A's can hit. They can score runs, and Baz, I think, is probably do a rough game, and then you're going to give up. Finally back home, you got great hitting weather, and Springs is going to be able to pitch a lot better, considering there's only going to be 2 lefties potentially in the lineup instead of just overloaded with lefties. So it would be the A's or nothing for me in this game personally.
To your credit, too, with the A's, Baz really struggles versus righty bats. I think the A's only have 2 or 3 lefty bats in that lineup, so a whole bunch of righties are.
And guys, by the way, this is how it works. This is where the ROI evens out. You get a team like the Rays who was winning for a month straight. Everybody was on the train, made a bunch of money. Then they start getting priced like -170, -180. They go like 3-7 in a 10-game stretch, and those 3 wins are only -170s. And all of a sudden, that bankroll's like it goes quick. When they're priced at -170, it goes quick. The Rays are now down to a plus 6.7 ROI on the season. So if you ride on the train too long, all that money you made goes away quick when you're playing -170.
It was a fun month, but they're due to fall back to earth here.
That was a great one.
Red Sox, and I just feel like the market's already all over it. When I first looked at this one, I looked at it before looking at the price, and I was like, oh, my God, I'm going to get a Reds plus 110. And then I looked, and this shit's like a pick 'em, which means the market's already over what I was thinking. I think Brady Singer could pitch well here.
You can get a plus 100 on FanDuel.
No, I know. I was hoping – I thought especially it's Boston against the Reds. The Red Sox put up 13 runs tonight. I thought I would get a better number. So I can't play it at minus 105 or even the plus 100. I need more than that. I think the Reds are the play, but I can't look you guys in the face and tell you I think there's value at minus 105. I wanted more, so I'll put Reds up, but I need like 15 more cents on the side to bet it.
I think the better way to take a page out of your playbook actually is you could take a Boston team total under 4.5 at plus 100, something of that nature. Just because I just don't. I was on Cincinnati today at the big number, and people were asking me why, and I said that I don't really trust the Boston bats, and I think they'd rather score 5 runs and explode and they win the game easily, or they lose the game outright. Obviously, they exploded today. I guess Mr. Burns was tipping his pitches or whatever. But I mean, I think that there's a reason that this game is a pick 'em. I mean, it's not. Look, I know that the Red Sox, there's a lot of people that like to bet them at home, but we've talked about this over and over. This team is not very good at home over the last couple of years. They're barely over 500 so far at home this year. I just don't understand. To be honest, I don't understand why the Reds aren't a little bit more favored. I mean, I know that Kyle said he wanted them at plus 110, but the only thing that I can think of is that Brady Singer really hasn't pitched well against this Boston team. And he had 2 starts against them last year where he got completely blown up. But he's been pitching a lot better this year. And, I mean, a lot of those guys that did damage, I mean, it's like 5 and 8 at bats. So it's not like even a huge sample size. So Brady Singer's last 4 starts on the road: Pittsburgh, Kansas City, Detroit, and St. Louis. He's went 5 innings or more in all of them. He gave up 2 runs or less in all those as well. So, again, it would only be Cincinnati for me. I just don't know if I can do it. I just don't want the Red Sox to explode again. I just don't know.
This is another one where I left money on the table because I like the Red Sox to get to Burns. I flirted with the idea of Red Sox money line at the big price, Red Sox -1. I ended up parlaying the Red Sox and the Rays. So there's another one where I just fucked up. I saw the game correctly and found a way to fuck it up. TV Jones, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, Reds money line. I think Brady Singer will be fine. I think Boston just went absolutely bonkers today. I don't know if they'll do it again. Kind of a little bit of regression here. And Cincinnati still scored a decent amount of runs. Like they've been hitting, but they, when your rookie phenom gives up 7 in the first frame of the game, yeah, it's pretty tough to come back from that. So I think Cincinnati bounces back. I think Boston has a little bit of a cold back game, and honestly, I may even just go under 10. I think Boston just struggles that much to where you're going to rely on Cincinnati to get 6-7 runs in order for this to go over. And given the weather, I'm not sure they will. 100%. I think Cincinnati's going to score, but I think this will be more like a 5-2, 5-3 kind of game. So give me Cincinnati on the money line.
I have a question for you, Kyle. In all seriousness, if Boston wins tonight's game 3-1, do you think it's still this price, or do you think it's a little bit different?
On Wednesday, Nick Martinez against Bayo. It depends on what bullpen arms Boston uses in that 3-1 win.
No, I'm saying tonight. If Boston doesn't score 15 tonight, do you think that this price is a little bit different coming into today?
No, I was hoping it would be. It's almost like the 13-run blowout win didn't affect the market, which it shouldn't.
Well, and that's what I was going to say, and that was going to be my point, because it wasn't like I got you or anything. I was just thinking that if people are liking Boston, if Burns was tipping his pitches, you can essentially just erase those runs. I mean, it's not like they were really doing anything. So I don't know. Just a weird spot to be in, that's for sure.
Let's move on to the next one. Fastball Freddy.
Is this the one that you had a flat 8 on?
No. This is the one. This is the one I was thinking of, but I messed it up. So there was a flat 8, but the over I bet is actually in a couple more games. I think Fastball Freddy's going to get sparked here.
I've already bet the Metropolitans.
I'm not doing that. Go ahead, TV Jones.
I mean, this is the game we've had circled. This is the
No
this is
one's had
the
this
revenge. This is
circled.
yes, yep.
No one
We've
has
had
had this game circled.
We've had this circled since that ninth inning debacle from the wild card. We're coming for that ass, and we're coming to beat the shit out of them. Milwaukee plus 112. You get Freddie, who's been damn good this year. The offense has been fine. Yeah, we lost to the Rockies on Sunday. We didn't give a shit about that. We already won the series. We were looking forward to this one. We let them have a game. Got to make them feel good every once in a while. So let them have it. But this is it. Clay Holmes, I think he gets hit up here. Milwaukee's been scoring. They've been hitting. Sal Frelick finally hit a nuke. I think he's going to start coming unglued here a little bit. It's a summer of Sal. Not to mention Terang and Durbin and Collins and Yelich. They've all been hot. And the Mets, I'm not sure if you caught a Mets game this weekend. It was not pretty whatsoever. And now you're going to give fastball Freddie as an underdog here? Disrespectful as shit. Brewers money line, bullpen's fresh. Bats are hot. We're ready to come in and sweep the Mets and get payback for the wild card. We don't have Devin Williams to come in and blow this game.
He said this is the one we had circled. It's a sad existence, the state of Wisconsin, because I can assure you, nobody out here on the East Coast gives a fuck about this game. Toast, you have the Mets.
You're going to be real upset once you guys lose back-to-back series to the NL Central, getting your ass whooped and swept in all of them.
You're on the Mets, Toast?
Yes, I am on the Mets. I didn't know that Milwaukee had this circled, so I do want to circle back to this game before I actually bet it. But I will say that I do like the fact that I know that the Mets just got absolutely embarrassed by Pittsburgh, but I do think that coming back home in a series that I think obviously means something for both teams. But I do like Clay Holmes to pitch well. I mean, he struggles versus lefty bats, really strong versus righty bats. Only a couple lefties in that Brewers lineup with Frelick and Yelich and Terang. I know that Collins kid or whatever is a switch, but I don't really worry about him. So I think the ability for Clay Holmes to pitch well at home against a Brewers team that really doesn't hit the sinker very well, I think that gives Clay Holmes a nice little advantage here. Not to mention the Mets had the day off today, so they're going to have a full bullpen and rested behind him. And it's not afraid of Freddie Peralta. I agree with Trevor that Freddie Peralta has been pitching pretty well so far this year. There's no doubt about that. But I will say that I do think that this Mets offense is able to get to him. I mean, at home. I mean, Soto's been hitting so much better. I mean, Lindor's going to be coming around more. Trevor's always going to love his Brewers, but the fact of the matter is that Freddie Peralta struggles versus lefty bats more than he struggles with righty bats. So Lindor, Nimmo, Soto, McNeil, Beatty, and Ronnie, the young goat Mariachi, is all going to be lefties from the left, or heading from the left-hand side of the plate. So not to mention the fact that Freddie doesn't go deep, and it's not like the Milwaukee bullpen has been like the gas cannons like they were the beginning of the season, but they're still a middle-of-the-pack bullpen. So I think that call the starting pitching a wash, call the lineups a wash. I think I have a bullpen advantage with the Mets playing at home.
We're calling the Brewers lineup a wash with the Mets.
Have you seen the Mets play baseball lately? It's pretty sad.
Are we in first place?
I was going to say, I mean,
Sweet.
we're talking about a Mets team that's fifth in baseball over the full season versus right-handed pitching, second in OPS, WOBA, WRC plus the last 30 days. I mean, what are we talking about here? Because the 3 games are going to.
Yeah, well, the Mets are a polarizing team.
Yes.
When it only takes two games of them getting cold for everyone to be like, this team can't hit. But it also the same the other way.
Did we not watch the Atlanta series? I mean, I don't understand.
I think the Mets are going to get to fastball Freddie here. Keep in mind, Citi Field obviously has been an extreme pitcher's park so far this year, and it always is. But as the weather gets warmer, we'll start to see some more runs here at Citi. Did I say City Park? Citi Field. Oh, if I said City Park, whatever. As the weather warms up, we should start to see more runs being scored here at Citi, and it's going to be hot tomorrow, real hot, with slight wind blowing out to right field. So should be a decent day weather-wise for scoring runs here at Citi Field. Also, we know what Freddie does. He's fastball Freddie. Fastball changeup. That's what he's coming in to do. You don't want to do that against the Mets. This is a very good lineup against the fastball and a very good lineup. In fact, one of the best lineups in baseball against the changeup. This is just a tough matchup for Fastball Freddy against all that talent in the Mets lineup. You want to shut the Mets down? Come with a slider. I promise we'll get shut out. Come with a nice curveball. I promise you'll have success. Look at Ranger Suarez in the playoffs. Can't hit a goddamn curveball. But fastball changeup, we can hit that. So I think the Mets are going to get the Fastball Freddy. But I do not share your optimism with Clay Holmes here, Toast, because as much as I love to make fun of Trevor, it's one of my favorite pastimes. The Brewers, man, are hitting the baseball.
Oh, yeah. Keep on scrolling down. Look at who the starters that they've seen. They're just a gauntlet of righty starters. I mean, good God.
He goes, oh yeah.
Hey, you can't choose who you go against. Who's ever in front of you.
That's why I'm not worried.
All right. So in the last 30 days, the Brewers are a top 5 lineup, but so are the Mets. They both are. Look on the road. This is the best road lineup in baseball in the last 30 days. Now, Toast tells us we should look at the names, so let's look at the names. Herman Marquez, Sensatella, Skeens. They got the Skeens, bro.
Yep, they had their night. That's their day in the sun.
Burrows, Motsinski, Festa. Oh, my God. Yeah, so it's over for me, by the way, is what I'm circling, because I think the Mets get the Fastball Freddy, but this Brewers lineup is hitting the baseball. Over.
Scared. But take the Mets.
Oh, I did.
Toast did, bro.
Yeah, Toast did. Gotcha. Yes. The Padre guy.
I still get like Trevor goes, we've got this one circled.
The Padre guy.
Oh, it's circled. We've been sitting on this one. We've been waiting.
Angels 135, Braves minus 162. Interesting one here because all of that Tyler Anderson success from earlier in the season is kind of forgotten about, but the Braves haven't been that good against left-handed pitching. What do you think about this one, Toast?
I have no idea. It would only be the Angels. I can't lay this price with Atlanta versus a lefty and a guy that I don't really know anything about on the mound, if I'm going to be dead honest with you guys.
The Diddler?
Yeah, so I know that he doesn't have good numbers this year. I didn't have time to look into him deeply, so I'm not going to act like I know a whole bunch about him. So I know that this is his first cup of tea in Major League Baseball. I do know that, but I know that this Angels team on the road has been a little bit better as far as offensively is concerned. So, I mean, I don't know, man. I think that the Angels are a little bit better than people give them credit for, to be honestly. But do I really want to back them here? Against the Braves team that's starting to figure things out a little bit? Not really. And also, yes, the Braves haven't been great versus lefties, but if you look at the guys who they've faced, Ranger Suarez, Luzardo, David Peterson, Austin Gomberg, Crochet, Sanchez, Ranger, Crochet again. They have a couple of duds in there like Mitchell Parker and DL Hall. I don't know who DL Hall is.
They actually scored runs on Mitchell Parker, and they got to DL Hall too, though.
No, that's my point. I'm saying, but so the bad lefties that they've seen, they've got a couple runs off of them. So maybe that's the case for Tyler Anderson, but I'm definitely not laying that price. It would only be the Angels or pass.
I have no idea. I think the Braves win. It gives you some. What do you think, TV Jones?
Yeah, Angels money line.
Really?
Diddler's on the bump. No, thank you. He's not been sharp whatsoever. Angels bats on the road have been a lot better. And you guys already went over it. The Braves versus lefties not been too hot here lately. They've gotten 1-2-0-3 off of David Peterson, 0-1-2-0-3, and that's all the way back in middle of May off of Mitchell Parker. So congratulations, I guess, for that one. But Tyler Anderson, I think, will be fine. I think the Angels are going to be able to hit him up, and then it's just going to be more just the bullpen holding it down. And I think the bullpen will be fine. I think Angels are going to get to Fuentes enough. It's not great hitting weather. You got wind blowing in like 10 miles an hour, 9 miles an hour. Right to left towards the third baseline, but Angels are just find a way. They find a way to get it done. They can hit. So plus 135. I'm going to back them with a better pitcher, starting pitcher going in a Braves team that's struggling against lefties right now.
Real quick, let's get caught up on the voice chat picks. I fell behind here in the Cards-Pirates game. There's a few people that like the Pirates team total over, so they're riding that Pirates offensive wave. Benji, Gab, and Money Mark. Adam's on the Cardinals with me, and Jacob's on the Pirates, minus 148, he wrote. He must have got it early. Twins, Marlins. Marlins first 5 team total under from Adam. Jacob's on the Twins. Spoon's on the Twins in the under. Steez is on first, 3 under, but who cares? Charles is on the Marlins. Benji's on the Marlins. Boba's on Twins first 7 minus the half run. TJ's on the Twins. A-Stead, Miami team total over. Why is there no picks in this one? Steez is on Riley, whatever. Steez on Riley Green and James Wood hit props there. For some, they must not have liked that game. I don't remember. In the A's, Rays, Steez is on the over. OT's on the over. Jacob and Spoon are on the Rays. I don't remember Spoon talking about the Rays, though. Reds, Red Sox. Jacob likes the Reds. Mark's likes the Reds. Boba's on Reds first 7 minus the half run. Brewers, Mets. Adam, first 5 over, so he likes the Mets to get the fastball Freddie as well. Jacob's on first 5 under. Everyone down here is on the Brewers. Mark, Steez, and Gab. Spoon is on the under. Angels, Braves, we're finally caught up. Steez is on the Angel. Wow, everyone's on the Angels. Jacob, Angels first 5 plus the half run, or Angels run line. TJ's on Angels first 5 plus the half run. OT, I'm assuming this is team total over. Spoon on the Angels, Mark on the Angels as well. So finally caught up. Sorry about that, voice chat. Fell behind. I kind of like what we were looking at from the lefty game logs against the Braves. Feel like that gave me some confidence. I go Braves are over. I'll put Braves up, but I won't be betting that one. Next up, Orioles Rangers. I'm in on this one. I don't know. Maybe I'm the biggest sucker in the world, and maybe I don't even. Can you still get it? It looks like you can still get it. So maybe I'm the biggest sucker in the world. I got
your own question.
I got over 7. What are we doing here? Brandon Young. Brandon Young is not a great pitcher. Not to mention, the Rangers just saw him 6 days ago. They just saw him. So the Rangers are going to get another shot at the same bad pitcher. They had no problems getting to him the first time. They scored 4 runs on him in 4 innings. In Brandon Young, let me just show you this. I mean, what do we see here from Brandon Young? Look at his numbers against lefties. But what do we see here from Brandon Young? I mean, 10 base runners, 3 runs in 4 innings. 9 base runners, 3 runs in less than 5 innings. 6 base runners, 4 runs in 4 innings. I mean, he doesn't have one successful start in the majors here, and the Rangers just saw him on the 25th. So, I mean, I don't see how the Rangers have problems getting to Brandon Young. And on the other side, yes, it's DeGrom, but the Orioles bats have been showing signs of life. They are a top 10 lineup in the last 30 days, pretty average recently, and they just saw DeGrom. 7 shutout innings, 3 base runners. So you give them another shot at DeGrom. Now, do I think the Orioles are going to smack DeGrom around? No, but they just saw him. So I think we can count on the Orioles to give us a couple runs off DeGrom as well. And a flat 7, they just went to extra innings. The bullpens are taxed. The Rangers have gone to 5 extra inning games out of their last 6. Silly shit. So both bullpens are taxed. I don't know why we're getting a flat 7, but I'm on it. I'm on the over. And again, maybe I'm a sucker for this one. Maybe there's something I'm missing, but yeah, you could still get that flat 7. I got a minus 115. So no, you could still get a minus 115. I don't get it.
You won't be able to get that for that much longer. I'm probably going to tail with you. I don't know how I think I skipped this game on accident, but I mean, you hit the nail on the head with the Rangers in the extra inning games. This is getting to be absolutely ridiculous at this point. So, and then I mean, and you mentioned the Orioles seeing DeGrom again. After they saw DeGrom, they put up 4 off of Pepio. Littell dealt against them, and then they put up 5 on Taj Bradley. So they just saw Corbin again today, and they got to Corbin. So on top of all of that, I know that the Rangers bullpen has actually been good, but Baltimore's been one of the best teams all season long in scoring runs late in the ball games. They're one of the best teams, if not the best team, scoring on bullpens as well. So that just gives me even more confidence in the over. So, yeah, I'm going to tell you there. Also, Texas versus right-handed starters. Castillo and Wu dealt to get them, but they put 4 off of Gilbert, 4 off of Brandon Young, 3 off of Charlie Morton, 2 off of Mitch Keller, 4 off of Mike Burrows. So this team is capable of scoring some runs, especially.
So some good news. It looks like it is moving up.
Yeah.
DraftKings was at minus 115. It's now minus 121. FanDuel has moved it from 7 to 7.5. Caesars was at minus 110. It's now minus 120. Circus, then it has moved. ESPN bet open. It's still the same price. It actually moved 5 cents down a couple. That was actually 6 hours ago though. So, yeah, it does look like to be moving in my direction though.
I was gonna say I see 7.5 on ESPN bet now at plus 105.
Yeah, but it opened at 7.5, so it hasn't moved. TV Jones.
Yeah, Texas over 4.5 plus 114. Just saw Brandon Young. He can't get anybody out. He's given up a lot of hits, a lot of runs. Rangers, didn't wake up till late today, but they did, and they blew it. But I think they can score some runs off of Brandon Young tomorrow, no problem. I even debated like maybe DeGrom over outs 18.5 plus 115. Given what the bullpens did today, he's gone 7 in like 2 of the last 4. I mean, he's gone deep enough to where they could maybe try to get another inning out of him, given the bullpen issues here. And he's an absolute monster. It's DeGrom. Really don't have to say much about it, but I think Baltimore kind of struggles here tomorrow. I think that seven's telling, but I think Texas honestly just beats the shit out of them, and DeGrom has a field day. So give me 5-2 Rangers. But yeah, I like DeGrom to pitch well and the Rangers to get runs off of Mr. Brandon Young, who Charles said cannot get anybody out.
Yeah, he can't hit the plate, man. He just continues to walk guys. All right,
they can hit this team total by not even getting a hit.
So obviously the price sucks, and a minus 173 home favorite just sucks. But I mean everything points towards the Cubs here. You've got Matthew Boyd. He throws with his left hand. We know the struggles Cleveland has had against lefties. It looked like they were climbing out of it there for a second. I took a shot on him. I don't even remember who that was against, but it was against somebody, and they lost like 3-0. So like the pitching did their job, but the lineup just didn't touch that lefty. So Cleveland against lefties is still a thing. So Matthew Boyd should be fine considering he throws with his left hand. On the other side, Gavin Williams has considerable splits here, and this is pretty notable. So I'll pull it up on the screen so you guys can see it. I know Toast is a Gavin Williams guy. Might not be a spot to back him.
Absolutely not.
Okay, so you're on board with it. So Gavin 100%. Williams, because he throws the slider and curveball, 2 of his main pitches, over 40% of his pitches are the slider and the curveball. He's actually got bad numbers against righties. He's good against lefties because those pitches break into the hands of the left-handed batters. He struggles against righty bats. That's bad news against the Cubs lineup because they've got a million righties in the lineup, and the only lefties are like Kyle Tucker and Pete Crow Armstrong. So you've got So just to show you that again, Gavin Williams struggles against righties. He's up against Kyle Tucker, Pete Crow Armstrong, and then 7 righties. So, I mean, they should have no problems getting to Gavin Williams. Matthew Boyd should be fine. I mean, I don't see any reason to take a shot on Cleveland here. Do you, Toast?
No, I played Chicago on minus 162. I think this number closes around 175, 180, and we're going to be sitting at 15, 20 cents a CLV here. You pretty much said everything I needed to say. The 2 lefties in that lineup for Chicago are both MVP type candidates, on top of the fact that if you look at Gavin Williams' numbers, you can be like, oh wow, last seven road starts, yeah, it's not really bad. Well, he's only had over the last couple months, he's only had 3 road starts. 2 of them in hitter friendly environments in Seattle and San Francisco, the other one in Minnesota. Besides that, he really hasn't pitched anywhere on the road. So now he's in a hitter-friendly environment with this Cubs team that absolutely is one of the best teams scoring runs at home and against right-handed pitching. And the Cubs bullpen, not something that I love, but this Cleveland team can't hit to save their life. So, and the Cubs have just absolutely destroyed the last, a whole handful of righty starters. I think Palante had 2 runs against them, but besides that, it's a lot of 4s, 8s, 9s, 5s, 3s. A lot of crooked numbers there. So, yeah, I laid the juice at the Cubs. More than happy to do it.
And just to show you how bad this Guardians lineup have been, this is the worst lineup in baseball in the last 30 days. Literally 30s across the board, WRC plus, OPS, WOBA, you name it. Against lefties, 28th, 29th, 28th. On the road, 30s across the board. So in addition to being the worst lineup in baseball, it's also the worst road lineup in baseball. So
the Cubs. I'll go up and do the Cubs versus. Okay, never mind.
Oh no, I could pull something up.
I was just going to say, now go that you just scroll up on the spreadsheet and look at the Cubs versus righties. It's just night and day opposite. Or scroll down, sorry.
Yeah, this is one of the best lineups in baseball overall, and against right-handed pitching, and at home. They're even heating up. So, yeah, only Cubs for me. I can't take a shot on Cleveland. TV Jones?
Yeah, everything, all the reasons you guys just said. Cubs -1.5, plus 130. Lefty, and then you get a shit ton of righties versus Mr. Gavin. On the road here in Chicago's been good at home, so -1.5, rested bullpen. Cleveland versus lefty. Is Ramirez back, or is he still out with a little bit of a contusion? I know he didn't play. I don't think he played over the weekend.
No, he was listed as day-to-day a few days, but he kept playing. I don't know if he actually ever sat out. He was like supposed to sit out.
No,
and
he sat out. He sat out on the 27th. He's played the last 2 days. He's over.
All right. Yeah, don't give a shit. Cubs -1.5, plus 130. They should beat the shit out of Gavin Williams and win this game convincingly.
All right, let's move on to the next game, which is Houston, Colorado. Who is it that hit me up about this?
Jeremy
It was Benji. Benji really likes the under here. Yeah, it was Benji. So Benji hit me up. He really likes the under. I mean, you don't see many Astros games with 11.5 total, but they are in Coors Field, which would be the explanation for it. Oh, real quick, voice chat pick so I don't fall behind again. So we just talked about Orioles, Rangers. 1 second. Jacobs on Rangers -1. Kyle over. Astead over. Godfather, Rangers first 5 run line. Marks on the over. Boba's on DeGrom to record a win. Only -105 for that. Wow. And since I have it open, we'll get the voice chat picks for the next one so I don't forget. Oh, we just did this one too. Oh, man. Everyone's on the Cubs. Spoon, TJ, Jacob, Steez. Boba's on the Cubs first 7. Benji on the Cubs, Dodgers moneyline parlay. And then in this one, all 3 of them, Jacob, Spoon, and Steez, all on the first 3 under here. I actually remember hearing them talk about this. They like the first 3 under. So, Toast, any idea what to expect from Colton Gordon on the road in Colorado? Now, he does throw the fastball. Typically, if you're going to back a pitcher in Coors, you want somebody who throws a 4-seam fastball because it's not as affected.
Yeah, I don't know what to think here. I really want to bet the Rockies. That's number. I mean, you're not going to have Jeremy Pena in this lineup for the Astros tomorrow. I mean, the bottom half of that lineup with Carantini and Walker and Hummel and DuPont. I mean, I know that Christian Walker's a big name, but I mean, he's really struggled this year. I mean, that's a really, really bad lineup. So, I mean, if I had to make a play, it'd be Colorado or the under. I don't understand why it's 11.5. I mean, neither one of these pitchers has been like really fantastic. I will give you that. But I mean, to be honest, I mean, Dolinger only had that one bad start against the Mets. And besides that, he's been all right. So, I mean, he just pitched at home against the Dodgers and only gave up 3 runs over 5 2/3 innings. So if he just gets absolutely destroyed by this Astros team that I'm not really in love with this, but really offensively, personally, I know that they can have they look good at times, but not a team that I trust, especially without Pena the way that he's been playing. It would only be the Rockies or the under. There's no way in hell I would lay this price with the Astros.
TV Jones?
Yeah, under 11.5. We got some swirlies going on. Wind's going out to left, then it's blowing in, then it's blowing out again. We got some swirlies going on here, and no Pena in that lineup for Houston's a huge, huge loss. Offensively and defensively. So you do risk that a little bit, but I don't see, both these teams flying in first game of the series. I think Gordon will be fine. Rockies versus lefties at home have not been like insane. Like Kershaw just had a 2-hit 6-inning game. Gave up 1-1, 2-3, 1-0, 1. So I mean, they had a little stretch there where they're getting 2 to 4 runs, but now they're just going ice cold again. So I think both pitchers will be fine. I think Houston does win. I think they win on the run line, but without Pena and them on the road with that offense, I don't want to lay the -1.5. So feel better with an under 11.5. Hopefully it's not as sweaty as the Giants and Rockies under 11.5 from that one day, but I don't really see either team really getting past 6 runs in this game personally.
Which leads right into my pick. Astros team total under 6.5. I don't see any team. I don't see any team. Like Toast talked about, when Toast said it, I went and looked. Man, with no Pena in that lineup, the last four. I mean, once you get past Diaz, I'll bring it up on the screen. Like who?
It's so bad.
Who's hitting in the back half of this?
And
lineup?
I know, like I said, I know Christian Walker's a big name, dude. But he's 213 with 10 homers. I mean, he's doing essentially nothing. So, again, I'm not trying to rag on the guy. I'm just saying that he's really not doing anything.
So this is the projected lineup for tomorrow. There's no Pena, and I mean, look at when you get to past Diaz here. Like, look at this. I don't hate that Rockies money line either, to be honest.
I didn't look at the team total under because I was so enamored by the Rockies price, but I think that you're better off just playing that the Astros don't score 7.
You're betting them they got to get to 7 runs when half the lineup doesn't hit?
Half the lineup doesn't hit, and it's not even, I mean, it's Coors, but it's nothing like crazy great. I mean, yeah.
And other than Altuve and Dubon, they really don't have a shit ton of speed on that team either, especially with Pena out now too.
Giant Snakes.
Oh my God,
Giants.
dude.
Dude, I mean, I lost with the Giants tonight. I am so, dude. So obviously you guys know a big reason I like the Giants in this one was the bullpen, the advantage in the late innings. So Ryan Nelson pitches well. I believe it's 2-2 when he leaves the game. Oh, no, you know what? I think he left the game, and then they scored 2 runs immediately. So we finally get to the Diamondbacks bullpen, and the Diamondbacks have a 3-2 lead. So I'm feeling comfortable. I'm like, guys, this bullpen's terrible. They're taxed. They bring in a AAA arm, who's I believe was making his MLB debut to pitch. And he's pitching against Devers with a runner on second. And I was like, oh, we're good. Strikes him out on 3 straight fastballs. I was like, this team just sucks. Like, they wanted a AAA arm that just blew fastballs past the $400 million Devers. So I don't know. He blew these fastballs by him. Swung it.
It was his second, just for the record. It wasn't his first.
Was this his second appearance? Jesus. Well, Devers made him look like Nolan freaking Ryan. You have any thoughts on this? Oh, let's let Toast talk. Bird song.
Guys, there's certain things you have to do in life, and you just have to look yourself in the mirror and say, what is this? And this is a really bad spot for Hayden Birdsong. Just like Randy Vasquez, the question you have to ask is, how many lefties does this lineup have in the lineup? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 guys probably hitting from the left-hand side of the lineup for the Arizona Diamondbacks tomorrow. It would only be Arizona team total over 4.5, minus 125, I think the number is. Oh, sorry, minus 118. Minus 118 would be the number. I don't really like this spot for Birdsong. He also has been pitching at home, and he hasn't been pitching well. The walks are starting to come back to be an issue, and if that's going to be a case for Hayden, I really want nothing to do with that. I know that over 9 would be like really easy considering that Zach Gallen has been absolutely atrocious, but this San Francisco offense is just as bad. I mean, they're doing.
I understand it, dude. I don't even understand.
I know. Like I'm looking at the numbers and trying to frame it in a way, but like even if you look at the starters that the Giants are facing, it's like the who's who of like type C person. I mean, Jonathan Cannon, Adrian Hauser, who's been fine, so they get a pass with Hauser, Savale, Jansen Junk, Belozo, Cabrera, Quantrill, Giolito, Bayo, Hunter Dobbins. I mean, they haven't seen anybody even remotely decent. I mean, Adrian Hauser is the best arm that they've seen in 2 weeks, and they haven't done diddly shit. So I can't play an over with this Giants offense. It would only be Arizona team total over 4.5 or pass. I played the over tonight. I lost 2. I don't understand this team. They're just so bad.
Here's what Toast is talking about, the righty starters that the Giants have seen. They're not seeing aces here. This is who they can't hit. Like, it's crazy. I guess it has to be Arizona. I have no idea, honestly.
You can't trust Zach Gallen at this point. Like, I mean, this is going to be the easiest. This is going to be the easiest over in the world, or is one of these guys just going to pitch the absolute game of their life?
TV Jones?
Yeah, it would be over 9.5 and Giants money line. No one in their fucking right mind wants to bet San Francisco after what they just witnessed tonight. But the fact of the matter is Arizona's bullpen's still absolute trash. They're bad. I know Rogers went tonight for San Francisco, so he's probably not there. But Zach Gallen, he's given up 2, 4, 7, 8. He's given up like fucking 10 home runs the last 5 games. Not to mention he's given up 5, 7, 4, 4, 1 against Atlanta. 7 innings, had a damn good game. 5, 4, 6, 4. The dude rolls out of bed, spots you 4 runs. So, I mean, if San Francisco can't hit off of him, I know you guys just went over the list. It's not pretty, but Zach Gallen does not have it this year. He's just throwing BP out there. And somehow he recorded a win in Colorado, gave up 7 earned with two ding dongs, still recorded a win somehow. So San Francisco or Arizona scoring 2. The bats are fine. There was 15 hits tonight, 6 total runs. I think we get runs tomorrow, and I think San Francisco is honestly live to win this game. Such a short price. You can't trust Gallen laying juice whatsoever at all either right now. Like, this guy is absolute trash. So it would be Giants in the over for me.
I mean, it doesn't even make sense. You look at the Giants lineup, and you're like, dude, this is a decent lineup. I don't even get it. They got Patty Barrels in the 8-hole, Fitzgerald at the bottom of the order, Devers, Ramos, Flores. Like, I don't even understand why they're so bad.
I don't know. If they can't hit them tomorrow and score runs,
if they fail to score runs on the Arizona bullpen tomorrow, again, like, dude.
Well, Arizona bullpen and Zach Gallen. I mean, Zach Gallen, like Trevor said, he rolls out of bed and spots you 4. I mean, and that's not even an exaggeration over the last.
What happened to him, dude? He used to be.
Dude, he was a guy you'd lay like 200 with. Like, all right, no problem. We're gonna get an absolute gem with Gallen, and then he just this year's ugly. He's got 1, 2, 3. 4 games of giving up 1 or less. We'll say 5 with 2 or less. Everything else is 3 to 7 runs he's given up, like in every single outing this year.
Royals, Mariners, Trev. What do you think?
I think Bobby Witt needs to get sent down and work on his fucking fielding. My God, that guy fucked my under today hard. But yeah, I don't know. I don't trust Hancock. I don't really trust Lorenzen on the road. It would be over for me. I mean. San Francisco, Seattle as a home favorite this year is 17-11 now to the over. I bucked the trend last night. I went with the under. Should have hit. Shut up Bobby Witt for being an absolute bum. But I think Kansas City on the road, their offense is better. Seattle took advantage of when they needed to get runs tonight, and I think they can do it against the Rams tomorrow,
Bobby Witt gave them 4 runs with 2 errors.
Yeah. I know, but regardless, they still took advantage. So it would be over for me. I mean, we're getting an 8.5 in Seattle. That feels a little high, but Seattle scoring runs this year at 17-11 to the over as a home favorite this year. Michael Lorenzen, I have no faith with on the road. Hancock's looked better, but he's not been great. Kansas City's offense better on the road than they are at home. It would be over for me. And then the weather here. It is blowing in 8 miles an hour, but it's still going to be like 76 degrees tomorrow. It's going to be a nice day in Seattle, a nice night. So over or nothing, but I really don't want anything to do with this game after tonight. That hurt. Watching Bobby Witt just boof balls at shortstop all night. So over or nothing for me.
I kind of agree with the over. I think the Royals win, to be honest, but I think the Orioles are going to get to Hancock. The problem is I don't really trust Lorenzen, which is why it would be over rather than the Royals. I really do think the Royals win, and everyone gets pissed off because obviously the whole world's going to be betting Seattle. Toast.
I don't know. I don't think you can bet Seattle, knowing the fact that they're not going to have Brash, and they're probably not going to have what's the other guy?
Spear.
Spear, yeah. They're probably not going to have Brash and Spear, which is 2 of their top 4 arms. I mean, it's a cheap price. I will say this. I don't know what to – I guess where I'm at is that I don't know what to expect from this Royals offense. I know that this Royals offense is much better on the road. Kyle's done a really good job of illustrating that. But I also think that Emerson Hancock can actually pitch well here. I mean, he kind of struggles versus lefty bats. I mean, nothing crazy as far as lefty-righty splits, but definitely struggles versus lefty bats. I mean, what is there going to be? 2 lefties, 3 lefties in that lineup as far as Kansas City's concerned. So I think and then on top of that, I mean, I do trust this Mariners bullpen. They're a really good unit. So even with those 2 guys gone, I think that there's it's going to be hard for Kansas City to score runs. I mean, and if you look at like the righty starters that they faced, I mean, they got to Dustin May, but Baz, Rasmussen, Taj Bradley, Randy Vasquez, Dylan Cease all pitched really good games against them. So they got to Leiter and Pivetta, but I mean, it's just really, really hard to trust this team to score runs. And as far as Lorenzen goes, I don't trust him on the road. I don't trust him in general. I will say over the last month or so, ever since that St. Louis game where he got kind of blown up, he actually has been pitching pretty well. I don't really think 4 runs to a red-hot Tampa Bay team is an actually bad outing when you go 5 2/3. He pitched well against San Diego. He pitched well, decent at home against Oakland. He pitched 6 innings of 2-run baseball against the White Sox. So I think I guess the Royals, because I think they have an advantage in the bullpen, and I think the lineups are a little bit of a wash, even though I know that Seattle's has been a little bit better, but I'm not laying this price with Seattle. It would only be Royals or Pats, but I can't do it.
Yeah, I think the Royals are going to score runs tomorrow.
I would want one of those other arms in that Seattle bullpen to feel more comfortable, and then I would do it.
Next up, White Sox, Dodgers.
Oh, yeah. Game of the night.
Definite game of the night here. All right. Shane Smith against Yamamoto. Anyone, either of you guys have anything?
White Sox team total over 2.5 minus 120. I think Trevor was probably going to say it too. Yamamoto can't pitch at Dodger Stadium. So if I'm getting a team in the White Sox they're not completely dead offensively, and a guy in Yamamoto that again pitches well on the road, but at home in Dodger Stadium gave up 3 to the Padres. They're just as lifeless as the White Sox are. Got absolutely destroyed by San Francisco. Gave up 4 to the Yankees as well. So pitched a gem against Arizona. Congratulations. But I just think that 2.5 is a little bit too low here. So White Sox team total over 2.5 minus 120. Even if they only get 1, maybe 2 off of Yamamoto, I think they can squeak another one over there late. So White Sox team total over for me. And I did bet that.
Trev?
Yeah, I bet the over 8.5. Shane Smith been giving it up lately, not been great. Yamamoto not great at Dodger Stadium. And I heard a stat somewhere today that Dodger Stadium is actually like number 1 in baseball for like home runs or whatever this year, like home run factor, some bullshit. I don't know. But they're giving up runs. Shane, what's that?
I thought it was funny, like some bullshit.
Yeah, some bullshit, some big words and shit, but I got the gist of it. But over 8.5. I mean, Shane Smith has not been good. Yamamoto can't pitch here. White Sox, they're ugly on paper, but they can at least get 3 runs, I think, off of Yamamoto in this bullpen. And then the Dodgers themselves could put up 10 runs on Shane Smith in this White Sox bullpen. So not to mention the weather tomorrow. We have wind blowing out 8 miles an hour. It's going to be 70, 73 degrees. So clear skies. I just over 8.5, just set and forget it. As long as the White Sox get 2 off of Yamamoto, I think we're sitting pretty here. Unless Shane Smith just reverts back to his old self from the start of the year, but I don't foresee that happening. Maybe even Shane Smith 3+ walks plus 130. I mean, his last couple of games 2-3, 2-2, 5-2, and then the Dodgers are 4th in baseball the last 3 weeks for righties with a near 10% walk rate. They're patient at the plate. I think they can work the count up on him and get some free base runners here. So it would be over 8.5 for me. I already fired on this.
I don't know. The Dodgers. I think I agree with your over, Trev. I don't disagree with what either of you guys said.
What held me off the over was the Dodgers coming home from a road trip where they went to Colorado, Kansas City, and then they had to come home.
Yeah, they had a day off though.
I know,
yeah, but you're getting the White Sox and Shane Smith.
Yeah,
I'll just say over. I'm cool with that.
How do you wake up in the morning and be like, you know what? I can actually probably play 9 this morning because we're playing the White Sox tonight.
That's true.
Everyone, thanks for watching. Hit me up if you need me. I'll be up for a little while doing college football stuff. Betting league stuff. Give me about 20 minutes. I'll have all the standings and everything posted. Talk to